Hi, everybody. My name is Michael Zornick, and today is Thursday, April 23rd, 2020. Today, I'd like to do a little short microcast, if you will. Talk a little bit about some of the things I've been thinking about with the project I'm working on, which is Clubhouse hosting. And so, earlier this week, on Tuesday, I was really excited to release the first public alpha of the platform. And one of the really big goals of getting the public alpha out there is this idea that I want to start doing more user testing. And so, for those of you who don't know, the idea of user testing is you invite people, preferably people who are unbiased, who don't have a relationship with you, who haven't seen the product before, and you invite them and you show the product to them. You ask them to accomplish some task, and you say to them as they are performing the test to kind of think, to talk aloud about what they're thinking, and so you can try to observe them, using the software to perform whatever the goal of the software is. And the benefit of this is that over time, well, really quickly actually, you will notice certain things and about, things in your software that do not work the way you intended, or perspectives that you really didn't take into consideration. And it's just extremely helpful. And I myself have not done a lot of user testing. There was a period in a project many years ago where I was working at an agency where a designer had built a particularly custom mobile experience, and the developers, including myself, had built it. And then we were doing testing. We were testing the kind of general acceptance of the app. And during that testing, it was very clear that the custom interface was not performing well. And I felt like I was bringing up red flags early on to say that like we should really embrace more standard iOS norms when building it. But that wasn't followed, and we built something really, really custom, and we showed it to the users, and they didn't know how to use it. And so, me and my friend who were working at the agency at the time, we were kind of like adding up the hours that I had put in, that he had put in, the QA department had put in, that the designer had put in, and we're like, oh my god, like we just like burned down a Ferrari of useless work. And so, moving forward, with my own projects, I really want to try to avoid that. And so the idea is basically to get the app and the interface in front of users as regularly as possible. And so one of the great books about this is a book called Rocket Surgery. Or here, let me grab it. I have it right here, so I get the title right. It's from Stephen Krug, the person who made Don't Make Me Think. And here, it's Rocket Surgery Made Easy. And it is a do it yourself guide to finding and fixing usability problems. So, this is a great book, great resource, kind of walks you through how to perform usability testing. And the general idea is like when you get started, you can start with a very string shoe budget. Doesn't really take a lot of commitment. And the basic idea that he recommends that I will be following is basically once a month, set up a couple of tests, perform them, document what you want to learn, document what you did learn, and then create some actionable items from those sessions and apply it to your craft, and then just repeat the process. Um, so I earlier this week I said I released the public alpha. I prepared a script, and then I performed my first test yesterday, and it was awesome. I mean, there was definitely a lot of problems. We kind of knew that going into it because it was a public alpha, and there's a lot of features that are incomplete at this time. But nonetheless, it was really, really exciting, and I can't help but recommend people do some user testing. So with that, I'll say check out the book. Again, Rocket Surgery Made Easy by Stephen Krug. And I myself will be posting a link to the script that I had written. The book publishes a sample script, and I took that and applied it to my software, and I'll be publishing that as well. So you can check that out. But yeah, consider doing user testing in your software. I think it'll be really helpful. And hopefully join me next time as we continue to do some very short, microbursty videos and podcast to talk about software development practices related to my project. So with that, I'll wish you a good day, and I'll talk to you next time.